On my birthday, my manipulative boyfriend played a cheating prank on me. In response, I left and disappeared for several days. Eventually, he persuaded me to return, only to disclose a troubling secret regarding the prank. Last week was my birthday, and I decided to leave work early to enjoy the day. But when I got home, the last thing I expected to see was a random woman lying on top of my boyfriend. The moment he saw me, he jumped up and quickly got between me and the door as I turned to leave. "It's just a prank, sweetheart," he stammered. Suddenly, a group of about 10 of his friends burst out from downstairs with a cake and presents. I was already in tears, thinking I had just walked in on him cheating, but he insisted I stop crying. "I know you said you didn't want to party, but don't you think this is cool?" he asked, seemingly oblivious to my distress. When I couldn't stop crying, he became more aggressive. "Oh my God, stop being so sensitive. It was just a prank. I put all this effort in so you could have a fun time, and you're crying." I pushed him out of the way and walked out the door, got in my car, and drove off. As I drove, my phone was bombarded with texts, calls, and messages from my boyfriend and our friends. It became so overwhelming that I turned off my phone and drove to a hotel far from home. Once I reached the hotel, I broke down and started sobbing uncontrollably. The next morning, I called my team leader to inform her that I needed to take a few days off due to an emergency, and she kindly agreed. She probably sensed something was wrong from the way I was sniffling and my weak voice. Now, I'm planning to tell my aunt, who lives nearby, about what happened and ask if I can stay with her for a few days until I sort out my thoughts and decide what to do next. I'm deeply heartbroken because I've shared with my boyfriend and friends before how much cheating affected me, having seen it tear my family apart when I was younger. My mom cheated on my dad, which shattered our family, and I was cheated on by my first boyfriend. I don't know how to face any of them after what happened. Maybe some time away will help, I hope. Update 1. I packed my things and drove to my aunt's house, which, although not too far, felt like a long journey. When I arrived, she welcomed me with open arms, and I thanked her for allowing me to stay for a while. She hugged me tightly, reassuring me that I was always welcome and that she was there to help me whenever I needed it. She showed me to the spare bedroom and even helped me unpack. My aunt is an incredible woman, and I love her dearly. She's like the mother I always wished I had. Once I finished unpacking, I faced the reality that I hadn't checked my phone in hours. I had avoided it for so long that the thought of opening it again made me anxious, but I knew I had to. As soon as my phone booted up, hundreds of texts, chats, and missed calls flooded my screen. Though still hesitant, I decided to check the group chat with our friends first. The early messages were frantic, with everyone asking where I was and what had happened. But as I scrolled down, the tone shifted to apologies. They expressed regret that the prank had occurred and emphasized that it was never part of the plan. One of my friends even blamed the woman who was on top of Alex, my boyfriend, saying she was untrustworthy. The messages ended with them hoping I was safe and that they could reach me. My friends must have noticed I was online because they immediately began messaging me again, asking how I was and where I was. They apologized repeatedly, saying that they had no idea the prank would turn out the way it did. They explained that they thought the original plan was something entirely different. I was confused because they seemed happy enough to be there during the prank, but I knew I needed to apologize for ghosting them and hear their side of the story before I said anything else. They explained that they had planned a surprise birthday party for me with Alex in a separate group chat that didn't include me. Then, Alex added a few of his college friends to the group chat, saying they wanted to be part of the surprise and meet me. One of Alex's college friends suggested the idea of a prank. The plan was for my boyfriend to be on the couch with a serial unaliver holding a fake knife, pretending to stab him while covered in fake blood. They thought it would be funny to see my reaction. My friends were initially skeptical, but eventually agreed, as long as the prank wasn't dragged out and they revealed everything quickly once they captured my reaction on camera. On the day of my birthday, everything seemed to be going according to plan. Alex's college friends ushered everyone to hide while they set up the prank. When they heard Alex give the signal, they thought the prank had worked because I looked completely shocked. But when I didn't calm down after the prank was revealed and instead left the house in tears, they realized something had gone horribly wrong. They noticed that Alex's female friend was on top of him, not in costume and not holding a prop. They saw Alex push her away and chase after me. Some tried to follow me, while others questioned what had happened to the original plan. Even Alex's college friends were confused about why she wasn't in costume, but she remained silent. A few minutes later, Alex returned to the apartment, distraught and crying. He told everyone to leave and went to our bedroom. His female friend followed him inside, which made my friends uncomfortable. A while later, they heard Alex shouting at her to leave, which she eventually did, looking humiliated. My friends were left confused and worried. They tried calling and texting me, but I didn't respond, so they decided to wait until I did. My friends apologized profusely and explained that none of this was supposed to happen. They even sent videos they had recorded to prove their side of the story. After reading their messages, I felt terrible for ghosting them and apologized. I assured them that none of this was their fault and promised to make it up to them soon. They were just relieved to know I was safe. They suggested having a late birthday celebration without Alex and his college friends this weekend, and I happily agreed. I thanked them for being such great friends, and we made plans to celebrate together. The next morning, my aunt knocked on my door to wake me up, telling me that I had a visitor downstairs. She looked upset, so I had a feeling I knew who it was. It was Alex, carrying a beautiful bouquet of flowers and my favorite chocolates. Despite his appearance, it was clear he had been crying for days. I asked him how he found out where I was, and he explained that once I turned on my phone, an app notified him of my location. I was frustrated that he had come to my aunt's house, but since he was already there, I decided to hear him out. He confirmed what my friends had told me, but added more details. His old college friends had reconnected with him recently, and they wanted to be part of my birthday surprise. He mentioned that they knew he was bisexual and were excited to meet his boyfriend. They suggested the prank as a way to surprise me. On the day of the prank, Alex noticed that Anna, the woman who was supposed to be in costume, wasn't dressed up and didn't have any props. She claimed she had forgotten, and when Alex offered to get them, she insisted there wasn't enough time. Before Alex could object, I walked in and saw them. He admitted that he messed up and called everyone out to try to save face, but when he saw how devastated I was, he realized how much he had hurt me. He pushed Anna away to chase after me, but he couldn't catch up. It wasn't until I drove off that he remembered my trauma around cheating, which made him break down in tears. He told everyone to leave and retreated to our bedroom, but Anna followed him inside, trying to comfort him. He repeatedly told her to leave, but she didn't until he shouted at her. That's when he realized she had done it on purpose. Alex was in tears as he told me all of this, apologizing profusely. He said he had cut off contact with his college friends and was terrified of losing me. His words made me cry too because, despite everything, I still loved him deeply. After a few minutes of hugging and crying, he asked if I wanted to return to our apartment together or if I needed more time and space. I kissed him and asked him to help me pack my things. I gave my aunt a heartfelt hug, thanking her for everything. She was happy that things were resolved, but jokingly warned Alex that if he ever hurt me again, she would personally take me away from him. Alex laughed, though I could tell he was nervous. Now, I'm back in our apartment. Alex offered to get rid of the couch that was used in the prank, but I declined. It's a nice couch, and I believe that everything that happened was a mistake, except for Anna's intentions. We've made amends, and my friends are glad that everything worked out. Update 2. A few days later, Alex came to me sobbing and confessed that he hadn't told me the whole truth about Anna. They had been a couple back in college, and she was his first girlfriend. After they graduated, Anna broke up with him because she didn't want to be tied down by a long-distance relationship. The breakup sent Alex into a deep depression, and it took a long time for him to recover. He said that meeting me was what finally pulled him out of that dark place, but when his college friends reconnected with him before my birthday, old feelings for Anna were reignited. They met up, and one thing led to another until they ended up being intimate every day until the birthday surprise. It wasn't until he saw my devastated face after the prank that he realized how much he had messed up and that what we had was incomparable to his past with Anna. That's why he was so remorseful and apologetic. Hearing this shattered me. I listened to him apologize, but I couldn't bear being around him anymore. I calmly told him that I accepted his apology, but that I didn't want to be with him anymore. I told him I would be leaving the apartment and that we could sort things out once we were both in a clearer state of mind. He didn't take it well and started sobbing uncontrollably, hugging me tightly to prevent me from leaving. It was a struggle, but I managed to push him away and run to my car. I drove straight to my aunt's house where I collapsed into her arms, sobbing. She didn't need to ask why. I think she understood. Yesterday, I got a call from one of Alex's friends saying he was in the hospital after being found unresponsive. I didn't want to go, but I was the only person who knew his medical history and details, so I had to. Now I'm sitting outside his hospital room, waiting for the doctors to give me an update. I still love him deeply, but what he did made it clear that we're not meant to be together. I don't know what the future holds, but for now, I'm letting the universe take control. I just wish things hadn't ended up this way. Commentary time. Wow, what a devastating turn of events for OP. This story begins with what seems like a horrible prank and quickly spirals into a deeply emotional and heartbreaking situation. OP's boyfriend, Alex, made a huge mistake by pulling a cheating prank on her birthday, something that was not only inconsiderate, but also completely tone-deaf to her past trauma. The prank alone was enough to cause immense pain, but the revelation that followed is what truly shattered everything. The fact that Alex didn't realize how much cheating had hurt OP in the past until it was too late speaks to a serious lack of awareness on his part. OP was right to take some space and process everything, especially after being blindsided by such an inconsiderate prank. The emotional toll it took on her is undeniable, and her decision to go to her aunt's house for support was a smart move. When Alex confessed that he had been intimate with his ex-girlfriend Anna, it's clear that this story took a gut-wrenching turn. Alex's initial remorse and apologies now seem shallow in light of this deeper betrayal. It's heartbreaking to see how much OP still loves him, despite the layers of deception. OP's strength is evident in how she calmly made the decision to walk away, recognizing that while she may still have feelings for Alex, staying with him would be too painful after such a betrayal. The emotional complexity of this situation is immense, especially with Alex ending up in the hospital. It's understandable that OP feels torn between caring for someone she once loved and realizing that their relationship is no longer healthy or sustainable. Sometimes, love isn't enough to fix what's broken, and OP's decision to leave shows incredible courage and self-respect. This story is a poignant reminder that trust, once broken, can be nearly impossible to rebuild. Even though OP may have wanted things to turn out differently, she is making the right choice by focusing on her own well-being moving forward. And before we wrap up, if you found this story as emotional as I did, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button for more incredible stories like this one. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.